Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm weirdly close there, but today we are cutting a beautiful piece of Lightning Ridge opal. It's a rough rub right now, so the miner's mined it, he's washed it, touched it a little bit on the wheels, and then I've bought it. So let's check it out. So looking up close at this opal, I mean, you can just see how superb this quality of colour is. It really is something special. But there are some glaringly obvious issues. First and foremost, if you see around the edges here in the top left, there's a slight window effect going on. So that's obviously going to have to come out. But the most obvious one is the sand that's sitting right dead center. It's an issue. It's a very, very big issue. Now, I imagine, by the looks of it, because of this window effect that we're getting over here, you can kind of see underneath that the sand travels the whole way through the color bar. And that's a dead giveaway that we're going to have to remove this section somewhat. Now, there's another sand spot right in the middle there. It's quite a deep pit. Although we do have a fairly decently thick color bar to play with, the height of a dome of opal impacts its value greatly, as well as its quality. So I'm hoping it doesn't go in too far and we can still get a really nice dome and a really nice shape on this opal. But ignoring it all, this color is just magical. The opal is obviously dry right now. If I wet it up for you, you'll see that the color turns into this bright green. There are some flecks of gold in there just underneath the black potch. We haven't addressed the black potch. You can see some of that orangey gold coming out down there. The black potch is an obvious issue, but I really think it's going to come out. The stone is so dark. You can see whoever's rubbed it already has attempted to get rid of some, and it looks like it's starting to clear up, so I can't imagine it's traveling the whole way through. I don't know yet. That's the trouble. We really don't know yet, and I'm worried. I am slightly worried that it's going to stay in, but I have my suspicions that it's going to come out, and this type of black potch can sometimes polish so well it hides within the darkness of the color. So it's a guessing game right now, but I have good hopes. I have high hopes that we're going to end up with an exceptionally high quality stone. This has obviously come out of the parcel that I unboxed a few weeks ago, if you saw that, and I just couldn't wait any longer. This opal has plagued my mind daily, and I just can't wait any longer. I have to cut it. I need to know what this opal is going to become. So let's jump across to the wheels and start to unveil what Mother Nature has created. I need to go very, very slowly. This is where everything counts. I've got that window in the top left that we saw a minute ago to take out. You can't have a black opal with some spots that are slightly lighter. It just ruins the aesthetic of the gem and decreases the value. So I'm working around very slowly around the edges to get rid of those windows before we tackle the very obvious inclusion of the sand that's in the face of the gem. Now that I've taken the windows out, we're tackling the sand head on. Again, I'm going really slowly. Although the sand spot is obvious, I don't want to sort of rush past a point where I could have rolled it out and saving a millimeter, because when you're cutting opal, the millimeters count. So it's slow, it's steady, and it's methodical. But it's all done with a purpose. Taking a closer look, this black spot in the top right that I'm pointing out is actually just potch. And I have a suspicion this side might do the same, but we don't know yet. But because of that black spot in the top right, I might be able to steal some of that space and kind of cut the sand out at an angle, hoping to give me a bigger gem at the end. Because the black spot is there, it doesn't need to be there. And if I can cut it out at an angle and get rid of some of the sand, then I'm winning on both accounts. Now we've got to a point we can see colour starting to peek out from underneath that sand spot. It's hard to see, but I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling a little bit confident. I'm testing the black potch on top just doing slight touches to see if any colour starts peeking through, and it does, and that's a great sign. You can see that there's slightly more colour showing on the surface, which gives me a good indication that that black potch doesn't go too deep. It's a bit matrixy at the moment, it's all woven in together, but I'm really liking the way this colour is looking. It's been a slow and steady process cutting this opal, but the slower the better, really, especially when you're dealing with an opal of this quality. Now, we've done a few tests on the top, and those black spots definitely come out. There's colour hiding underneath. The issue is we've got a pit in the side left over from that sand spot. It turns out there was just a cavity underneath, so I will have to bring it in that little bit further, just on this side, and then I can roll the rest of it out. So I'm going to sacrifice a little bit that colour, but it has to be done in order to have a perfect opal. Now, wetting it up shows the quality that we've got. I'm going to take this sand spot out, we're going to dop it up, and we're going to tackle the rest on the 400 grit wheel because I don't want to leave too deep of scratches. I need to make this stone as heavy and as large as possible. I'm desperately trying to chase this patch out, but it just keeps bleeding further and further into the opal. It's going underneath the colour bar and then coming up on top. And it continues to leave pits in the side. It's just quite unsteady there, so I'm going to have to continue to make this smaller, which is really, really annoying. But this patch of sand and potchy bits in the middle just aren't doing me any favours whatsoever. So to be totally frank, it's getting smaller than I expected, but we're still chasing that perfect gem. We're still getting nice colour, and it's only going to get better. I think now's the time to dop it up and chase the rest out with a dop stick. Now that we're on a dop stick, we can tackle it a little bit easier. Starting on the 400 grit wheel, I'm just going to take my time and work through that sand spot that just seems to be getting bigger. I'm doing slight shaping and of course a rolling of the dome. This opal continues to torture me. The sand spot is now getting bigger again. Honestly, it couldn't be getting worse. Or could it? Slight foreshadowing for you at home. But we're on to the 600 grit wheel now. We're starting to work on our pre-polish, and this is where disaster starts to strike. I'm going to explain it all in a moment, but turns out this whole gem was doomed from the beginning, and my week is now ruined. I don't think I have the words to express how annoyed I am at this opal. Mother Nature can be so cruel and evil. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm blessed I can cut opal, but it's very annoying when one of the main stones of a parcel you think is going to cut something really spectacular just seems to sucker punch you in the gut every chance it gets. First problem. That sand in the middle didn't go out. It was there, and it was actually underneath the colour the whole time. The colour was really dark. I mean, we saw it at the beginning. The colour was really exceptional. Super gem colour. But the problem is, when you stick a gem torch into it, it doesn't show anything because everything's so dark. Remember what I've just said there, because that's going to explain the next point. Yeah, so I couldn't see the sand going underneath, and it just went further and further in. The more I cut, the more I saw. And yeah, it was there the whole time. Problem number 2 is the black potch that was on the surface that we saw was coming out, turns out was coming up from underneath. I thought it was like a thin layer that was going, like I've cut some other stones from this parcel, and it's a thin layer that sits on top for the other stones, but of course for one of the best, it's bleeding up from underneath. And as you can see, it's actually now just overtaken the whole stone, and there's basically no colour left. Have I cut this stone badly? Is probably a question I'm going to be asking myself for the next few weeks. I don't think so. In hindsight, I should probably have sliced through the middle of the stone and ended up with 2 really small pointers that might have been a pair. They wouldn't have been of exceptional value, but at least I would have ended up with something. So in hindsight, I probably should have done that. But I was hoping for a larger stone. There looked to be something there that was bigger that I was hunting for, and it didn't work. I'm looking to the side because I can see it on the desk to my left, and it's still haunting me. It's I will get you. Yeah, so it's one of those things. Sorry, I should be addressing you. It's one of those things where, have I cut it badly? No. Hindsight's 2020. It's a beautiful thing. I probably should have just sliced through it all. Um, I started having those thoughts halfway through the cut. I should have sliced this, but it was too late at that point to slice it, because then I really would have ended up with nothing. I should have sliced it at the start. But that's fine. It's one stone out of a large parcel. It's not the end of the world. It's just a sucker punch to the gut, because Mother Nature can be so, so cruel. Um, it's going to keep me up, because I was really excited to see how this stone turned out. And part of me was thinking, if it's nice enough, we'll treat yourself. Make something out of it that you would keep. I don't bloody want it anymore. There's nothing there. There's a bit of colour. Big deal. Yeah, you could probably see how annoyed I am. I've been rambling for 3 minutes now. It is what it is. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. It's been a roller coaster. So comment down below. Leave me your thoughts. If you've enjoyed the video, of course, please leave a like. And yeah, if you're new around here, subscribe. I've got plenty of other videos you can watch, and many more coming in the future, which hopefully are going to be some better wins. Remember, folks, if you're cutting opal, the wins are only good wins because the losses are so bad. Or whatever the saying is. See you next time.